Draft reflections. We have Selena on the other side, and this time it's not Ashley, it's Cindy.
That's right.
You're moments away from heading into game number 2. What a statement! I agree. What better way to close it out if not by winning through a pick that was unsuccessful for Gen.G in game number 1. The Selena now in Cindy's hands.
That is a lot of confidence here for Vitality. And as you mentioned though, it's kind of a bit of a question mark still here for Vitality, right? But let's see, if there is a team that could make it work, it's going to be one of the strongest team or the defending champion. Now for Gen.G, they go in for early aggression as well on the mid lane.
Yeah, Rui actually stole away a green cap from Vitality's side, whereas Vival just decided to get a green cap of their own. So basically both level 2, but that was a stolen jungle camp, and we're seeing a skirmish in as early as less than a minute into this game. Gen.G is trying to be a bit more active. They did not want a repeat of game number 1.
They are playing right at where the level is Vitality when it comes to facing here on the early facing of our game, which is what we would love to see, right, for Gen.G. Instead of them just going for the counter punches, we want to see them throw out the first punches and then do so onto punishing members here for Vitality. Now, looking back though here onto the composition for Gen.G Esports, now they stay in with Ashley's show, and right on cue, she is forced out of her flicker.
Yep, a resource already down for Ashley, but at least they got resources elsewhere. City, close call too, but we'll get to dash away from that attempt from Gen.G. And there isn't a significant advantage that we're seeing from both sides just yet. I'm surprised to even see that slight lead in favor of Vitality, because Gen.G were able to steal away a couple camps, even the Little Wanderer falling into Rui's hands for that first jungle rotation. But I guess this is where things change. Yeah, first turtle up, and we're seeing only Vivian scouting the area for Vitality.
There's kind of a bit of a delay here for Ashley, only at level 2. But right on cue here for Arya, Falling Star and committing onto Viva.
Oh.
And that is how she keeps her at bay as Gen.G attempts to get the turtle. It's going to be Sayori with the last hit, first blood as well. That's a great opener here for Gen.G, chasing down onto Fumi Echo. But still, that is a great statement start here for Gen.G.
Arya definitely wants to play this time. She wants to be the EXP later. She wants to be seen. This is a different hero that you've handed over to her, and it's going to make a huge difference. The way that she just made sure Vival could struggle to get close to the objective, and if not even just get close, but even put her down to below half HP, enough so Gen.G could actually get the kill. But Ashley, though, down bottom.
Okay, Chell is forced out of her Blazing Duet, but that is it. They just need to survive the early facing Ashley's attempts. But going back onto Arya, we've mentioned she is one of the best XP laners out here in the female team for female MWI teams. And so far, with her Esmeralda play yesterday, I think this also translates into how well she is when you give in a hero that could set up, could sustain, and as well give most of that punches in for Vitality.
Yeah, she's just not letting go of Vival. Vival's struggling to be the very high mobility surprise type of Hirara in this scenario where Arya's just always trying to stay around her. That was close for... that looked like an attempt for Gen.G, but they didn't really push through. Probably also got to see Vivian around the area. And now let's see how Vitality are dealing with this rotation.
This is how they deal with it. They just steal off orange buffs against Gen.G, and that's how they slowly build up their momentum. Sayori with a clutch, black shoes. Vivian onto the back lanes. That was a really close call. High-risk plays here for Gen.G so far.
Yeah, but we're yet to also see how they're really able to convert the threat of the Selena yet again. Mostly, majority of the action is coming in from Arya. It's from Gen.G. Vitality seem to be waiting for that opportunity to get at least a grab or maybe even land an arrow.
So now the plan for Vitality is to send in Fumi Echo, but that's not looking good. But no, that is a great throw of Ruin. Pandamon caught in the crossfire. Rui forced with a Turtles Passant. It's all over for her as Fumi Echo and Vivian doubles down. It's a double kill for Fumi Echo. The turtle is left untouched. Now there's an action here coming from Vitality.
A 2-0 for an Alice early on. Arya still trying to be an annoying Esmeralda in her face, but this is Vival most probably still getting to secure the objective.
No!
She didn't have her retribution at the time.
Okay, it paid off for Arya.
Yes, it was very worth it. Now they do have the retribution, but the turtle is up. Gen.G and Vitality could both make their way to this objective if they wanted to, but things seem to be different for Vival. They might not risk it, not unless they find an opening. But it's so far just really Arya and Fumi Echo zoning them all out.
They're really considering onto giving up the turtle altogether. They just want to interrupt the whole process here for Gen.G. If we could get the turtle, so can you, right? And for Gen.G, they're attempting to somehow zone out the members of Vitality here. But Fumi Echo and Vivian is just not having any of it. Now it's Ashley targeting on Vival. She's just zoning them out. Sitting onto the side. Arrow and traps are there, but the damage just isn't enough to get a kill. Fumi Echo with a Crimson Gleam going in. Vival clutches to get the turtle alongside Vivian here. Sayori forces out onto her black shoes. Fumi Echo buying enough time to just delay things up here for Gen.G. That was quite the messy of initiation here for Gen.G.
Yeah, Fumi Echo. That was Fumi Echo just making sure that it was a better scenario for Vitality to just commit to the objective. The way that they again forced Rui out, put her down to very low HP, and all just by being an Alice that's standing in the way. This is a 2-0 Alice that you're talking about, just picking up the Radiant Armor too, so that adds to an additional layer of sustainability that you will have trouble dealing with if you're Gen.G. At this point, I feel like they might not have enough resources to deal with it head on, as we could take a look at the items eventually, but Vitality, there you go. At least they have a glowing wand in Sayori.
And that's it. That is the kit that she needs to actually punish onto Vitality. What a kick here for Ashley, but Vivian and Fumi Echo tries to get away. Damage just isn't giving it here for Gen.G. And you just mentioned the Vitality. All they needed to do is force out Gen.G out of missed positions here. And there are numerous healthy resources here exhausted, such as the Flicker for Ashley, and for Vitality. Things just keep getting better. She'll got the most out of her zone onto the bottom side. That's a hefty amount of gold advantage that Vitality was able to get in 7 minutes into the game.
Yep, and I feel like Gen.G could have also went for more aggressive setups if only there weren't as much information. I know we haven't seen much of the arrows just landing yet from City, but I think the placements are also something that matter in this game. The way that they're always just able to scout, the movements from Gen.G, similar to what we saw just now, is being very pivotal in how this game is playing out. Oh, the arrow now lands onto Rui.
Okay, that's a very crucial take here for Cine. Ashley commits onto the wave of the dragon. Cine immediately taken out here by Arya. Shell finds a great opening with a blazing duet, but Sayor with a single black shoes will be able to survive that. Panta 1! Being cornered! Of all people, taken down! The goal laner for Gen.G is down. Now they don't have enough damage to actually tore down the defenses here for Vitality. The Lord is left alone. It's still Vitality coming up on top, finding the right targets and angles against Gen.G.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the biggest concerns we had for the draft as well. Gen.G, they do have setup, they do have pick-off potential, but can they actually provide the right amount of damage? Arya, oh, the knockups!
She might not make it. Fumi Echo hot on her tails. Ashley in an instant taken down. This is just too much to handle. They're coming in one by one here from Gen.G.
Yep, now it's Vitality. Oh, with the control over this objective. Rui has some information, can potentially catch up to. This is a backer that we're talking about after all, but will they let them through? Vivian blocking the way as much as they can, as well as Fumi Echo.
Oh, it's still people getting on to the Lord. Arya finds her way in, but won't find her way out. as Vitality takes her down. That's a 5k gold lead. An objective onto Vitality. All in all, that isn't any in favor or pros from Gen.G. They've got nothing out of it.
It seems like they still wanted to force the fight, however. It seems like they still at least wanted to get the attention of Vitality, maybe momentarily stop them from at least focusing on the objective, but Vitality refused to do so. They were just making sure that they will be able to secure the objective nonetheless, especially with Rui out of sight. If there was anyone who was actually able to approach, it was just either Arya, it was just either Ashley. But Rui was the main problem, and they need not worry about that. Okay, now it's a Lord.
Oh, okay. I just saw Ashley activate the flicker just to try and cross that big boulder. I think that is huge info here right now for Vitality.
Yeah.
That is a huge giveaway right now, and Arya will have a hard time putting up on the front line here against Vitality. Yet again, they're down to the last bits of their base turret. It might even explode with the next bit of minion waves that Vitality was able to control. To BH, the macro isn't really that giving here for Gen.G. It's all about the map awareness, map control, all onto the side of Vitality. Ashley gets a kick onto Vivian. There's going to be a follow from Arya, but a falling star, but not the damage. The respo, it just isn't there yet. Vivian goes in with a clutch play. Shaw with a free hit. The two women down here for Gen.G. They go at it again. Double kill yet again here for Vival. What a way to scout out the members from Gen.G.
The coordination from Vitality, a single failed attempt from Gen.G is what cost them these 3 kills and possibly even a base turret that will go over to Vitality. The moment that they saw the Way of the Dragon already down and that multiple members of Gen.G were out of their base, they took that opening, that beautiful Throne of Ruin, that entry from Vival and the arrows from City, but Arya wants to fight again.
Okay, that is quite a successful play here for Gen.G. They're just forcing their way in. It's Fully Echo being cornered out. There's going to be a dashing out. Okay, the bullets will hit from Panda 1, but an immediate response here for Gen.G. They're still alive and kicking. And they've got 2 core damage here from Vitality. I think that is fruitful enough. The risk was worth it for them. But still, for Vitality, they're trying to survive. Ashley from the back! With a great way to dragon onto Cine. But still, they weren't able to burst her down. Survival at its finest here for Vitality.
The question remains, do they have enough to burst down whoever Ashley eventually finds? Because they burned the flicker for that kick. You would assume they could, because that was Cine who they were actually able to find. But even with the bullets landing, even with Panda actually providing the follow-up, it didn't seem like they had enough. What more if things get a bit messier in the team fights? And we're just talking about a 5k gold lead currently in the hands of Team Vitality. More so, once we actually scale into the latter portions of the game, once Gen.G actually gets to prolong it to that point, do we expect that the Ranger could actually deal with everything? The Skypiercer stacks aren't even handed over to him. It's not like he could just put herself forward. It's Arya who's actually just trying to force their way through, open up a bit more of the map, and try to create space when there are actually team fights going on. But other than that, this is going to be a tough task for Gen.G.
That is the reality. And to answer the question on whether Panda will be enough, I don't think it will be. Because for now, Vitality still has most of the gold, most of the damages, plus they're really having a hard time committing onto getting the right targets. And now there's also Lord in the mix. They're burning it down as fast as possible, but Vitality is just waiting for those arrows to hit. And that might be it. Now Gen.G needs to be really careful on where and when they should commit Ashley's flicker, even the Way of the Dragon. 5 seconds next before they go in with a Blick clutch play. It's Vival trying to run away. Arya getting caught in the crossfire, but Fully Echo does it again. She forces out Panda out of position. Vitality brute forces their way in. Fully Echo yet again on the front lines. Panda will be the time down. Vivian Shell with a blazing no way. Panda and Ashley in a very hefty position. but they will do it. They will still survive, defend their further base, and Vitality won't be able to end game number 2.
Vivian was brought back to the fountain, and Panda looked like it was about to really get bad for her, but even then, she was also able to just regain her HP back, and that was a successful attempt from Gen.G to defend and prolong this game. That's what we're talking about. Finally, they also get to pick up a stack for themselves for the Sky Piercer. We take a look at that replay where it did feel like they were just trying to intercept and make sure that Gen.G weren't the ones who were actually going to start things up. And that was a beautiful way of just forcing Sayori and Panda out of position, as you mentioned. But Sayori was quick to also re-engage, get back, zone them out, and Ashley with the mobility too. But Vitality are not letting go of this.
Okay, for Gen.G, they don't care how expensive it will be just to get a kill. As long as they get it, as long as they get the job done, they will take it. Vitality now has somewhat having a hard time to actually finishing off this round, because now Sayori and Panda is getting harder to catch from the back lanes.
It is. 30 seconds before the next flicker of Panda comes back. Sayori does need a minute to get her Purify back too. And there's only 10 seconds before we actually see the next objective. Gen.G want to get out of their base. Gen.G actually want to make something happen. But Cine already spots Arya, and they have a pretty decent amount of info. Enough to know that Gen.G are planning to do so.
Plus, Vitality knows that Gen.G has to send someone over onto the top lane. They still have the control over the map. And for Gen.G, they have two things in mind. First, clear off the waves onto the sides. Plus, try and prevent things from de-escalating here from Vitality. But Arya goes in.
Okay.
That was a very risky call here. If she was caught, if she was stepped, that would have been the end here for game number 2.
Oh, no.
But that might be it. Rui! What an expensive overstay there.
Yeah.
Just when Vitality finally gets a Lord.
Taking advantage of the fact that they saw Ashley dealing with the waves up top too. They've just blitzed the Lord. And what better way to close that out by finding a kill onto one of their most crucial front lines, their jungler Rui on the backsha. How many times have we seen that happen? But does Vitality close it out here?
Okay, that made it even better here for Vitality. Foamy Echo from the back. Panda is forced to flicker her way out for survivability. Ashley as well. They can do nothing but stare back into Vitality, brute forcing their way in again. And they go in. Ashley is being held over here by Vivian. And they focus fire onto the tower as Vitality secures the 2-0 against Gen.G.